I think if you were to look through the history of South Africa as a whole, you know, our dark past versus our bright rainbow future that we sit with at the moment, it's no secret to why the people of South Africa are so tough, so driven, and so just hungry for success. I think South African sporting culture is very harsh, very result driven. Been on the highs and the low of that from a professional sportsman point of view, but it's what motivates us. When you're doing well, to see the support that you get from the South African golfing community and sporting community as a whole, it's very uplifting. But at the same time, you know, when you're on the other side of the coin, you're not being playing too well, you do get those questions that ask you what's going on. And not that you need a more motivating factor, you just kind of get that kick up the arse every now and then from the guys around you. And like, that's why we have the illustrious sporting history that we do. People often ask me about the challenge tour, and I can only give the one answer, and that is my honest answer and my honest opinion, and it is the most brutal cutthroat tour in the world. It is just so competitive, so brutal. Every week is a grind. It's the Gladiators arena, in my opinion. I mean, you could always go play at the fancy stadiums with the fancy lights and the perfect soccer ball, but sometimes you need to go back down to that grassroots and grind it out. There is no greater euphoria in my entire golfing career than when I got my European Tour card in Oman. I've often said that my biggest motivating factor since 2015 on the European Tour has been the fact that I just don't want to go back. Because once you go back, you don't know if you'll ever get back onto the European Tour. But at the same time, that's the beauty of it. It's the pit, if you want to call it that. When you're struggling, when you're missing a few cuts, when you're seeing a few lip outs, it does play on your mind a little bit. Professional golf, when you're playing well, is one of the most glamorous occupations in the world. However, there's a very dark, dingy flip side to that coin. It's a lot of hours on a driving range, it's a lot of hours in the gym, a lot of phone calls to loved ones in tears trying to figure out what the hell is actually going on. I would never ever tell someone not to follow their passion, not to turn professional, but if you decided that this is what you want to do, you're going to have to work your ass off. No one's going to give you anything out here. It's brutal at the best times and utterly cruel at the worst. I've been around long enough now to know both sides of that coin. In saying that, it's the best job in the world.